State Championships, presented by Jags.
Welcome into the BJCC. It's time for the boys' 2A state championships. Lafayette and Tanner getting ready to go at it for a shot at the title. Welcome into the AHSA Final 48 presented by Jax. I'm Patrick Claybon. Join in on the discussion. You can follow me on Twitter. It's at Patrick Claybon. We're talking about this 2A championship game. Let's look first at how these two teams got here. Elba fell to Lafayette 37-35 in a tight one there. And another close game. We've had plenty here in Birmingham this week. Luverne falls 50-51. So these two teams are playing for a title. And speaking of titles, let's get down to one of our championship-style coaches, Stephen Ward, and a guy you don't want to meet in an alley with a basketball, the main man, Chris Blackshear. Guys?
Thanks a lot, Patrick, and welcome here courtside. 2A Boys State Championship. Chris Blackshear, Stephen Ward. Stephen, the current head coach at Hubman High School here in Birmingham. And Stephen, a state championship, an opportunity that a lot of young men may never get in their playing career. What's going through these two teams' minds right now?
Well, you got to think about it. Both of these teams have had a long season and a tough road to get here, and the coaches, everybody's anxious and ready to play. And for an 18-year-old kid, it's a lot going through their mind right now, and I know they're just ready to throw that ball up and get rolling.
Well, first off, let's look for the Bulldogs of Lafayette High School. Made it here. Very close semifinal win, as you saw a moment ago when Patrick showed the stats. They won 37-35 over Elba in the semifinals back on Tuesday. It all starts with a young man, though, number 3, Quad Boyd.
Yeah, Mr. Boyd, I tell you, he's a player. He's a streaky shooter, got good length on him. He's a smart basketball player. He does a lot for Lafayette, and today he's going to have to step up and be there for his team. So I'm looking for him to have a really good ball game.
And speaking of how they won in the semifinals the other day, talking about Mr. Boyd, he missed a 25-foot three-point jump shot. About 2.5 seconds left, it fell into teammates Contavious Lander's arms. He laid it back in at the buzzer, and they knocked off Elba 37-35. Now, on the flip side for the Rattlers of Tanner, they've been in state championships. Not necessarily basketball, but back in December, 10 members of this basketball team were on the state title football team that won the state title back in December in Auburn. But it starts with number 24, Greg Macklin, for the Rattlers.
Right, yeah, he's a great shooter, a really good rebounder, and the teammates really depend on him to do a lot of things, and he's an athlete, so I expect him to step up in this championship game.
And a close game we were talking about for Lafayette the other day, same thing for Tanner. They knocked off Luverne 51-50, and that game right there, it all came down to free throw shooting. 13 of 17 for Tanner, Luverne 3 of 15. So it should be a good one. Sit back and enjoy. It's the 2 of 6 state championship games today. The Lafayette band is striking it up, and we'll tip it off when we come back to the BJCC. You're watching the Final 48 from Birmingham. Welcome back inside the BJCC. We're just moments away from the tip-off of the 2A Boys State title game here this morning. Chris Blackshear, Stephen Ward, and Stephen, we're talking the opening about 2 key players for both of these teams. But really, when it comes down to it, looking at the Rattlers for Tanner, Coach Witt really feels like the difficult schedule that his team played this year really got him ready for this day's game. They actually had 3 wins over 6A opponents this year. Talk about that difficult schedule of teams put together during the season. Does that really help you for big games like this?
Well, as a coach, you want to kind of stack your schedule a little strong down towards the end so you can make a good run towards the playoffs because, the playoff time, anything can happen. You never know how the ball is going to bounce. And, just getting the kids ready to play for playoff season is really important.
Now, we talked about the squeakers both of these guys had back in the semifinals on Tuesday. That's all erased now. Both teams are on a 4-game winning streak. I would think the nerve level now for coaches and for players is really amped up to a different level than even what it was back on Tuesday.
Right. The focus level is really, really important at this point in time. So, as a coach, you want to have your kids as prepared as possible and try to keep them away from as many distractions as you can. But the biggest thing is, you got to get your team ready to play, and when that ball goes up, they got to be ready.
Now, we were talking also earlier about the free throw shootings, the difficulties Luverne had, which played right into the advantage of Tanner. How important is that? We saw it yesterday, a couple of games we watched. 2 to 3 games that were very close, came down to free throw shooting late. Tanner was 13 of 17 from the foul line back in that semifinal victory. Luverne, as we said earlier, only 3 of 15.
Right. Well, you got to understand, too, this is a new environment for a lot of these kids. They're used to playing in gyms all season, and they get in here and play in the Coliseum, and the depth perception is a lot different than it normally is. So I think that comes to an account, too, for these kids. So they got to make the adjustment when they come here and get ready to shoot free throws.
Well, one thing I think we'll see in the game today, if it's anything like yesterday, the officials really letting the young men and young ladies play basketball.
Right, exactly.
So that should, hopefully, both teams really like to be physical, but when you look at Lafayette, and Coach Threadgill says if his MO is tough defense, low-scoring game, and talking about uphill battles they've had, they had crosstown rival and area rival Lynette they lost to 3 times during the regular season. Well, they matched up for a 4th time in the regionals, and finally the Bulldogs knocked them off. In basketball, as a coach, how difficult is it to, number one, beat somebody 3 times and you turn around and avenge those losses in that 4th time?
You know, it's really difficult, especially to beat a team 3 times. You know, we kind of faced that situation over Huffman this year as well. You know, it's really hard because the team is, you know, they know your schemes, they know your offense, they know your defense, they know your personnel. So, you know, you got to come up with a couple wrinkles here or there down toward the end of the playoffs.
Coach Redgill says the lower the scoring the game today, the better chance he feels like his Bulldogs have of winning this game. He said that at times we don't have the best athletes of our opponents. We don't have the most height. We don't have the most speed or the best shooters. But one thing we're going to do, we're going to play defense all 4 quarters and generate some turnovers. And he said hopefully he can force some turnovers from the Rattlers today. So when you know you're playing a team that is that aggressive defensively, from an offensive perspective, if you're Tanner, what do you try and how do you try to attack that defense?
Well, you know, both of these teams look like they had a really good warm-up, but I think the biggest thing is push the ball, try to get some easy buckets before you set your half-court offense up, and I think Tanner has the guys to do that.
There's a look at Coach Witt, the head man of the Rattlers of Tanner. They've won a state title back in 2011. Their only other one, 1986. For the Bulldogs, their last title was back in 2002. They have 2 other ones in 1986 and in 1989. So somebody will be carrying home that blue state championship trophy here. Got to be exciting for everybody right here close to tip-off.
Sure is.
We're going to turn it over to courtside now to our public dress announcer here inside the BJCC for introductions from both teams and an introduction of our starting lineups.
Basketball fans, welcome to Birmingham's BJCC Arena and the Final 48 Basketball Championships. Please direct your attention to center court as we recognize the Tanner High School administrators. Superintendent Tom Sisk, Principal Billy Owens, and Athletic Director Vince Green. Please give them a big round of applause. And now the starting lineup for the Tanner Rattlers. At guard, a 5'11" junior, number 1, Desmond Love. At guard, a 6-foot senior, number 23, Justin Smith. At guard, a 6'2" senior, number 24, Greg Macklin. In the center, a 6'5" senior, number 32, Jace Hagermaker. At forward, a 6'3" senior, number 44, Fred Rich. The Rattlers are led by head coach Chris Witt. Again, please direct your attention to center court as we recognize the administrators from Lafayette High School. Superintendent Dr. Kelly Hodge. Principal Montre Thompson. And Athletic Director Stephen Coker. Let's give them a big round of applause. And now the starting lineup for the Lafayette Bulldogs. At forward, a 6'3" senior, number 2, Damian Page. At forward, a 6'5" senior, number 3, Quay Boyd. At guard, a 5'11" junior, number 12, Tyreek Davis. At guard, a 5'9" sophomore, number 15, Cordeski Floyd. At guard, a 5'11" sophomore, number 23, Kaminsky Bledsoe. The Bulldogs are led by head coach Obadiah Fred Gill IV. Your game officials for today, 2A boys semifinal game, Kevin Osman, Ben Matheson, and Greg Childs.
Only moments away now, Stephen. What's going through? Let's go inside the coach's mind now. What are they trying to go through? You've got your game plan down. Is there anything you're trying to adjust now? What's your main concern as a head coach?
Well, as a head coach, the kids had a great warm-up. Mentally, they seem like they're ready to play, and you did your motivational speech back there in the locker room. And the only thing ready now is just throw that ball up and see what type of adjustments you may need to make the first couple minutes of the ball game.
Well, our officials for today's 2A state championship game are Kevin Osmond, Ben Matheson, and Greg Childs will have the call here inside the BJCC. Well, what will we see? We've set it up, low-scoring defense. It might be somebody scoring 80. That's typically how it always happens when you're over here in Purdue. It always goes against what you think we're going to see, but it should be a good one.
Yeah, I think Tanner's probably going to come out and attack first. Hopefully Lynette can stand their pressure defense they're going to throw on full court as well.
Fayette's going to be in white. You see them there, black numerals trimmed in yellow. Tanner in the green, white numerals trimmed in black. And Chase Hagermaker, the 6'6 senior for the Rattlers, will be squaring off at center court. The number 2, Damian Page. We're about to be underway. And we're tip-off of the 2A title game, controlled in the backcourt by the Bulldogs. Cordeski Floyd.
Yeah, Mr. Boyd needs to really step up here and lead his team first couple minutes of this ball game.
Man-to-man defense, three-point jump shot, top of the key, rims out. That's Bledsoe with a miss. Rebound to clear out by the Rattlers.
Seems like Lafayette is coming out in their man-to-man defense.
Smith up top, now Macklin with the ball, drives, kicks it back out. Controlled by Desmond Love, dribble, penetration off the backboard, miss by Fred Rich. Rebound by the Bulldogs. Both teams one possession, one missed shot.
Seems both teams here are starting out in their man-to-man defense.
15-foot jump shot by Bledsoe, misses. Offensive rebound. Controlled by the Bulldogs. Drive baseline, 15-foot jump shot by Boyd, misses. Rebound tracked down by Desmond Love, controlled now by the Rattlers. Justin Smith kicks it out. Desmond Love drives, 16-foot jump shot up and in for the first basket of the game. Desmond Love, the 5'11 junior, first points of the game.
That's a good shot. That's an icebreaker here. It seems like we're ready to go now.
There's a steal. Drive to the basket by Love. Lays it up. Soft kiss off the glass and in for back-to-back baskets by Desmond Love.
I tell you, Mr. Love really came out ready to play here. He's been on attack mode the first two minutes of the ball game.
The sophomore point guard for the Bulldogs kicks it to the right wing to Davis. Three-point jump shot by Mr. Boyd is up and in.
That's a good looking shot there by Mr. Boyd. I'm expecting him to have a really big game.
Off the screen, sets his feet, drills it. It's 4-3. Tanner.
It's a good looking shot.
Hagermaker going to the basket. They get him a player control foul. First of the game, Damian Page stands in there and takes the big charge from the 6'6 senior, Tanner.
Yeah, I tell you, that's called taking one for the team there. He definitely slid on in and took that charge. That was a tough one there.
Floyd controlling the offense. Trying to find Boyd top of the key. Penetration to the basket. Have a whistle and a foul underneath. Looks like it's going to get Desmond Love. It'll be his first for the ball game.
That's a good move there by Mr. Bledsoe. One thing about it, you got to protect that baseline.
They had to control it in their own baseline. Tyreek Davis controls it, now sets the offense back up top. Fayette very deliberate in their offensive sets. Three-point jump shot, left wing, air ball. Nice save once, twice by the Bulldogs, but Tanner finally clears it out. Now we have a fast break with Desmond Love.
A little shake and bake there.
Smartly pulls it out. Long three-point shot by Macklin. It misses. Offensive rebound by Hagermaker underneath. It's blocked. Rebound underneath by Fred Rich. He's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot a couple.
I tell you, in the early part of this ball game, both teams are really crashing that offensive glass. They're really attacking.
Damian Page picks up his first foul of the game. First free throw rims out.
Let's go. You got to make those free throws. You got to make the easy ones.
Second one up and in for Fred Rich's first bucket of the game. 5-3. Tanner now leads. Boyd one-on-one drives to the basket, up off the glass, misses. Hagermaker clears it out.
Good rebound there.
Smith drives to the basket, quick jump shot, about 10 foot, up and in. His first bucket.
All right, we're going to wait on Mr. Macklin. Maybe he'll wake up. Here he comes.
Pass underneath. Whistle and a foul on Damian Page. The foul's going to go against Chase Hagermaker. That's his second already. So the big guy's already got 2 quick fouls here in the first 4 minutes.
Wow, that's going to hurt there. Coach going to have to get a sub in pretty quick here for him.
Damian Page converts the first free throw.
Yeah, he's probably going to have to sit the rest of this half here unless Coach tries to, just gamble a little bit and get him back in the second quarter. But that may hurt the inside presence.
Second shot up and in. 2-point Tanner lead. Jonathan Fletcher checks into the game for Hagermaker. He has the ball. Kicks it to Justin Smith. 3-point shot up and in.
Nice looking stroke by number 23. Now let's see if Lafayette is going to attack since the big guy went out of the game for Tanner.
Shot missed by Lafayette. Cleared out. Controlled by Macklin. Kicks it back to Justin Smith. Jonathan Fletcher, 3-point shot up and in, his first basket.
That's 2 3-pointers back-to-back. Quick timeout by Lafayette.
Coach Fredgill says it's time for a timeout. Real quick, 13-5 lead. Tanner jumps out to a big lead, and we were talking. Lafayette coach and staff said the lower they can keep the score, the better chance you're going to have. And here's another look at that 3-point shot.
That's a good looking stroke there. I tell you, those guys are really putting it up on the outside to start the game off.
Shoot at a high percentage. They didn't shoot all that well the other day against Luverne.
Right, yeah, and I think Lafayette probably needs to try to attack the inside a little bit more when they come out of this timeout break since the big fella's out of the game.
They're shooting 63% from the field compared to 14% for Lafayette here in the early part
of the first quarter. Yeah, that's impressive.
2 of 3 from three-point land.
Let's see if Tanner can keep the hot hand here.
Tanner will pick up full court. Change up a little defensive look. Boyd with it, short of center court. He gets it across. They set it right back up with Kordeski Floyd. Lesso passes underneath. Boyd up, blocked underneath. Cleared out, fast break now. We're running with Desmond Love. Smartly pulls it back out to set the offense. Justin Smith drives to the basket. Pass it to Boyd.
That's a great block. That is a great block by Mr. Boyd there. Came out of nowhere.
Fletcher passes it underneath. Scoop shot underneath. Nice job by Fred Rich with his basket. Kind of a scoop shot off the glass.
That's a really tough shot. Really tough shot.
pass by Floyd. He turns it over, and the Rattlers are running again. 10-point lead, trying to add to it, and quickly turned back over by Jonathan Fletcher. Floyd with the basketball.
You know, the pace of this game so far is really fast. You know, I don't know if Coach Greg Gill intended on this, but, you know, they have to get control of it really quick.
Let's say drive to the basket, have a whistle out front. Fred Rich picks up his first foul for the Rattlers. It's a fourth team foul. Justin Geiner checks in now for the Bulldogs. Blake Witt checks in also for the Rattlers. Lafayette three-point shot up and in from the left corner by Comiskey Bledsoe.
Yeah, Lafayette really needed that bucket there.
Quick down for a pass underneath to Blake Witt, who just checked in. Quick basket. And an offense that was shooting 60% just increased that total. And the Rattlers, 17-8 lead now by the Rattlers. Shot up and rims out. Rebound cleared by the Rattlers. Three-point jump shot, top of the key, rims in and out for Justin Smith. Rebounds cleared by Kentavious Landers, who had the game-winning shot back on Tuesday. Boyd with the basketball. Good pressure defense right now, man-to-man by the Rattlers.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm really impressed with Tanner's man-to-man defense. It's solid. You know, not too many slip-ups. Everybody's staying focused on defense.
Up to the basket, nice up and in on the hip fake by Tyreek Davis for his first bucket of the game. Under 30 seconds remaining, first quarter. Fletcher kicks it over to the right wing. Jump shot in the lane, rims off by Fred Rich. Cleared out now, and Lafayette can hold for the final shot.
Oh, good steal.
Steal, nice defense play by Fletcher. Down to 3 seconds. They're going to have to do something. Lafayette does not realize where the clock is right now, and it runs out without even getting a shot. But an exciting first quarter in the books in the boys' 2A state championship game. After one, Tanner leads Lafayette 17-10 when we come back second quarter action from here in Birmingham inside the BJCC. 1 quarter in the books, and if you want to know why the Rattlers have a 7-point lead, it's simple right there, Stephen. 7-13 shooting compared to 3-11 from the field for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I tell you, Tanner's shooting a really high field goal percentage so far. You know, that's really going to help them out. I think the first half of this game, you know, it looks like they're keeping the momentum right now.
Just had a travel call on the Rattlers on their first possession here in the second quarter, so the Bulldogs control it, down 17-10.
It seems like Tanner's coach has kind of switched the defenses up a little bit. He's going with a 1-2-2, sort of like token press, and I think it worked out for him pretty good here.
And it generates a nice defensive stop. Tanner controls the basketball again. Jonathan Fletcher up top, running the offense. Justin Smith kicks it to Macklin. Jump shot, rims out. Nice effort by Blake Witt. It turns back into a turnover for Tanner.
Yeah, it looked like coach is sticking with it. If it works, hey, stay with it. Got another one.
Now the nice defensive stop that time by Greg Macklin. Sloppy on the offensive end here early in the second quarter by both teams, but that's due to a lot better defense by both teams we've seen here in the second quarter.
Yeah, it looks like Lafayette staying in their man-to-man defense. I'm pretty sure Coach Greg made the adjustment on that first after the first quarter, just make sure they limit the amount of threes the Tanner puts up. So we like they're pressing up on them guards a little bit closer.
Fletcher drives to the basket, up. He's going to the line to shoot a couple.
It looked like they're trying to force him to drive instead of shooting jump shots. So
Contavious Landers picks up his first foul. Johnny Fletcher at the line for two, hits the first. Desmond Love checks back into the game for Tanner. Fletcher's second free throw up and good. Lafayette drive to the basket, shots missed. Offensive rebound up and back in by Quay Boyd.
That's a good basket by Mr. Boyd there.
Well, started the first half having an excellent position for an offensive rebound and put it back in. Fletcher still controlling things, kicks it inside, shot up, misses. Boyd tried to pick up the charge but couldn't get it, and the Bulldogs are off and running. Whitlow to the basket. Very close to interfering, slapping the backboard with it up in the cylinder. But no call, and it's cleared out by Tanner.
That ball was halfway down and ran right up.
The Bulldogs defense, Steven, you touched on, is really a lot more aggressive right now. Deep three-point shot.
Wow, he was at least 3 or 4 feet behind the three-point line on that one.
By Greg Macklin.
You know, one thing this defense is doing is kind of forcing the guys to stay on the perimeter and keeping them out of the middle. But also is keeping Lafayette from running their offense as well. So
I guess you've learned now from the Bulldogs' perspective defensively, you need to come out a little bit further on defense now to keep moving to shoot it.
And one thing about it, you got to have a few different wrinkles in there to kind of throw the other team off.
Landers drives to the basket, miss, goes out of bounds, and Tanner will control. A three-point shot was Macklin's first points of the game. But the Rattlers have built their lead back up to 10. Second time in the game, the lead for the Rattlers has reached double digits.
Okay, now it seems that Lafayette has made a few adjustments on their defense as well. They're throwing a run and jump in there. They got a quick turnover for them.
Bledsoe, three-point shot, off the front of the rim, rebound cleared out by Fred Rich.
I tell you, both of these coaches have come ready to make these crucial adjustments here in the second quarter.
At this point, you think it'll work. There's no tomorrow, you might want to use it.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Fletcher with the basketball on the right wing, set the offense. He stops, takes a three-point shot, up and in with Jonathan Fletcher. He leads the team in scoring right now with 8 points here in the first half.
If you look at it, you know, Tanner has most of their scoring from three-point shots. You know, they really need to make sure they keep those guys off that three-point line.
Landers with a missed three, Boyd with the offensive rebound, but he had it stripped on him. Excuse me, that's Page with the offensive rebound, but Tanner controls it. 15-foot jump shot, and we have a foul.
Wow, that's one of those Cardinal scenes. You never foul a jump shooter.
Boyd gets his first foul. Justin Smith will go to the line to shoot a couple. 5 different players for Tanner have scored here in this first half.
You know, as a coach, you're really happy if you see that. You know, that says a couple things. You know, your guys are playing together and your guys are moving the ball, so that's really good.
That first free throw was Justin Smith's 6th point of the game. Misses the second. Rebound cleared out by Boyd.
And Lafayette has to be real careful here not to let this game get out of hand these last 3 minutes.
Biggest lead of the game for the Rattlers. It stands at 14 with 3:25 and counting remaining before half. Boyd picks it back out. 3-point shot, left corner. Up and in by Quay Boyd.
Yeah, Lafayette really needed that, I tell you. They really needed that bucket.
Boyd leads the Bulldogs now with 8 points.
Let's see if they can turn it up on defense here a little bit.
That was only the Bulldogs' second basket in the second quarter.
Lafayette foul number 15, Cordeski Fuller. His first team foul number 4.
Had a foul called on Lafayette. It goes on Cordeski Floyd. A little hand checking. So a lot of that yesterday, not called. Called it there, which is the appropriate call. Drive to the basket by the Rattlers. Number 1, Desmond Love, up and in.
Yeah, that helped defense was a little slow, rotating over on that possession.
Boyd passes it through the defender's legs for the Rattlers. Back to his point guard. Basket. Shot. Misses. Rebound. Cleared out by Blake Witt.
Well, I tell you, that 1-2-2 half court really has Lafayette really confused.
Justin Smith kicks it over. Deep three-point shot by Macklin. He misses. Cleared out. Rebound by Landers. Trying to control the offense. Landers three-point shot. Right wing. Up and in. His first bucket of the game.
I'll tell you, it's raining threes today. Both teams are really shooting it well from outside.
Tanner 4 of 7 on three-pointers. Lafayette 4 of 8. 8 of 15 combined. Not bad at all. Over 50%. And we have a turnover by the Rattlers. Landers drives to the basket. Goes up. Shots blocked. Nice play underneath by Justin Smith to throw the ball off the legs of the Bulldog player, and Tanner's going to control the ball.
That's a really good block there by Mr. Macklin. It's a real athletic play.
Coach Witt, 19 years, 446 victories.
Wow, that's impressive.
As a head coach.
And hopefully he could add to that resume here pretty soon.
Min 25 left. Tanner slowing down the offense a little bit. Nice play. Drive. Shot up. Missed by Macklin. Rebound missed by Fred Rich. Bulldogs control. Chance to cut the lead back to single digits.
If they could get it under 10 here before they go into halftime, I think they'll be in a better position to kind of fight when they come out of the second half. And Tanner to switch back to the man-to-man defense here.
Landers, three-point shot left wing, misses it. Rebound cleared out by Fred Rich.
Let's see if Tanner holds for the last shot here, or they go ahead and go 2 for 1.
Jonathan Fletcher just crosses midcourt and is going to stand there with the ball. It's going to force Lafayette to come out and pick him up defensively. Justin Smith, drive, shot, misses.
That's a great shot there. I guess they're trying to go 2 for 1 instead of holding for the last shot.
Boyd with the basketball. Lafayette just trying to slow down that Tanner defense. Boyd throws up a shot, misses it. Rebound offensively by Landers. We're down to 6 seconds left, and there's a big steal by Greg Macklin. Shot up at the buzzer, have a foul.
Wow.
Underneath. Justin Smith's going to go to the line to shoot a couple.
I tell you, those guys flying all over the place.
Quay Boyd picks up his second foul here. A little erratic on both ends there. Not a good series by either team trying to hold for the final shot.
Right. You got to think down towards the stretch here, the end of the quarter. You know, point guard has to get the ball and settle things down and try to hold for the last shot. You know, I don't know what the strategy was on that one, but it seemed like everybody was kind of out of whack.
First shot by Justin Smith, up, good. Second shot, up, and good as well. 7/10 of a second left. We've reached halftime of the boys 2A state championship game. We're at the half. The Rattlers of Tanner lead the Bulldogs Lafayette 30-18. Let's step aside here. When we come back, Patrick Claiborne back from the side, set to carry you through halftime festivities of the 2A boys title game inside the BJCC. Back inside the BJCC where the Lafayette High School band is entertaining the crowd here at halftime. Well, we showed you the score 30-18. Stephen, here's a look at the highlights. Boyd with a nice three-point shot there.
Yeah, I tell you, Mr. Boyd, he stepped up towards the end of the first quarter there and made a couple key buckets to get his kids, get his teams rolling there. But one of the things they really need to do in second half is make sure they take advantage of the lanes that Tanner's giving up on that 1-2-2.
That was Desmond Love with a shot. Another shot at highlight there. Justin Smith with a three-point basket. See, both teams shooting very well. The three-point land, there's Jonathan Fletcher with one of his 2 3-point shot buckets there in the first half. And so let's go back here. So now let's go in the minds of the Bulldogs. First off, you're down by 12. You say that you keep it around 30 to 35 points, you increase your chances. Well, that's already out the window. So how do you reset in the locker room?
Well, one of the things I think Coach Derrick needs to do is make that adjustment for that half-court 1-2-2. They need to attack that middle a little bit more and kick that ball to the weak side. But, the other thing on defense for them, they need to make sure that they limit the amount of threes that Tanner's putting up. Push them off the three-point line and force them to drive and penetrate a little bit more. They're giving up too many three-point shots for me. I think they need to just try to push them off that three-point line and force them to get to the basket.
As far as field goals from the floor is concerned, Tanner shot 47% there in the first half. Lafayette, only 25%, 6 of 24 shooting.
Wow.
And they will have their first opportunity here as Lafayette in the white controls the basketball, trailing by 12, starting the second half. Set offensive play to get the ball in the Quad Boyd's hands to start the second half, and it works. 2-point basketball.
Yeah, it seems Hagermaker is a little hesitant to play defense knowing he has 2 fouls, and you want to pick up that third one really quick. So, they may want to try to attack that a little bit more, Bulldogs.
And Hagermaker back in the ball game for the first time since the 4:16 mark of the first quarter. He picked up 2 quick fouls.
Now you can kind of tell he's an important piece of what they have going.
Drive to the basket by Macklin, but is rejected by the Bulldogs. They control the chance to get the lead back to single digits. Making really controlled underneath. Tanner's finally going to get the rebound off the miss, and they're going to clear it out. Justin Smith brings it up court.
Yeah, the Feds come out of the locker room with a lot more intensity. Let's see what happens.
17-foot jump shot, rims out. Hagermaker had it, but loses it out of bounds. And the Bulldogs will control it.
Yeah, it seems like they're fired up. I guess Coach Derrick gave him a good speech at halftime.
Boyd with the basketball, the give and go up and in. Nice lay-in by Tyreek Davis.
That's a great cut and that's a great pass there.
And a quick turnover like that, Boyd controls the basketball. He wisely pulls it out. Bulldogs set it up here. Chance to really cut into the lead. Boyd drives, turns it over himself. Justin Smith controls it for the Rattlers. He drives to the basket, shot, scoop underneath and lays it in off the basket.
Boy, the level of difficulty on that shot, that's really impressive.
He now has 10 points to lead the Rattlers. Boyd with the basketball, drives, shoots, misses, rebound, fast break. Didn't get it to him fast enough. Good defensive effort by the Bulldogs to recover. They control the basketball.
That's a good hustle play there.
Drive to the basket, shots missed by Damian Page. He gets his own rebound, puts it up, he misses. Another rebound underneath by the shortest guy on the court, Tyreek Davis. He's up, he misses. 3 shots underneath.
Tanner needs to do a better job of boxing out. Lafayette's getting too many opportunities at the basket.
Hagermaker up, and they're going to call goaltending. I should have called foul.
Wow, that looked like it was.
And if that's on Boyd, who it is,
yeah, it is.
It's his third foul.
Yeah, it's 3 on Boyd. Let's see if coach is going to leave him in or try to get a sub in for him.
Hagermaker goes to the free throw line in search of his first point of the game, misses the front. End of 2 shots.
Well, you could almost look at it. Was that a good foul? Sending the big guy to the line, forcing him to make the free throws. Yeah.
Well, it is now.
But then again, one of your key players has 3 fouls, so.
Boyd with the basketball on the right wing.
There's a lot more movement on offense for the Bulldogs this half.
Tanner's really stepped up their defensive here again. on the Bulldogs. Shot up and in by Tyreek Davis.
I don't know, it just seems like the Bulldogs are aggressive. You know, at the beginning of the game, Tanner just seemed like they had the mojo, but now it seems like the Feds come back out with a lot more intensity. You know, maybe they woke up.
Drive to the basket, shot missed underneath by Desmond Love, and it's cleared out, and the Bulldogs are running. Have numbers, 3-2 fast break, three-point shot by Boyd, misses. Rebound underneath by the Bulldogs, Damian Page. Bulldogs will take a timeout.
I think that's a great timeout by Coach Greg here.
Lafayette did what you were talking about having to do, give them some different looks, step up on the defensive end. They've done that. They converted a couple baskets. Now, they're still only 9 of 32 from the field, 28%. What matters is they've cut that lead by 8. They've outscored Tanner 6-2 here in the third quarter.
You know, Tanner has to do a better job of boxing out. You know, they're giving the Fed too many second and third chance opportunities at the basket. You know, if you're a coach, you want the other team to have one shot at the basket, and that's it.
Let's see what can happen here with the Bulldogs. They're going to get the basketball. Let's see if Tanner really tries to do something offensively when they get the ball back and try to find something you mentioned earlier to chase Hagermaker. Senior scoreless in this game. First, Bulldogs control it. Miskey Bledsoe had a wide open three and decided against it.
Yeah, let's see what adjustments Tanner's made at that timeout defensively.
Boyd, three short, way short from the right corner. He's saying that he got fouled on the arm.
Yeah, he's way short on that one.
Drive to the basket underneath, misses, but there's the rebound and put back in by Hagermaker. Scores for the first time.
Well, maybe that'll get him going on the offensive end.
Lead back to 10. Tyreek Davis dishes it. Boyd shoots. He's fouled. He'll shoot a couple.
You know, one thing I like about Boyd, you know, he knows how to draw the contact and get to the free throw line, you know. Make the points when the clock is stopped.
Foul was on Greg Macklin. That's his first of the game. First shot up and in for Boyd. He leads all scorers now with 11.
Seems like Coach Greg is coming with the big fella. 6'6".
Reiner checks back into the game as well. Second shot up and in for Boyd. Trevon Barnes, as you mentioned, he is exactly 6'6". Only a sophomore into the game now. Pass underneath Hagermaker, and he has back-to-back buckets for the Rattlers.
Yeah, Tanner executed on that. The Bulldogs tried to throw a little run and jump at him, and they moved the ball pretty good to get the layup under the basket.
Boyd in the lane, goes up around the foul. So they're going to call on. That's Hagermaker. That's his third. That's who it's on.
I tell you, Mr. Boyd back to the foul line. It's almost 2 straight possessions when he's made it to the foul line.
Misses the first one. Jonathan Fletcher going to check back in the game. He had 8 points off the bench in the first half for the Rattlers. Contavious Landers checks back in for Lafayette. Second shot's converted that time.
Okay, Lafayette's in their full court pressure defense here. See if they can force a turnover. Yeah, that was a good switch up top.
Three-point shot, left wing, rims out. Rebound on the floor, finally cleared out by Boyd, and Grinder controls it for the Bulldogs. Landers decides otherwise, kicks it back out, resets the offense.
You know, in a fast-paced game like this, transition defense is really important.
Landers drives to the basket, puts it up, puts it in. And leads down to 7. They're chipping away at it.
Seemed like Lafayette went to sleep for a minute there.
A handshake foul. Justin Griner, that'll be his first. Tanner throws it in underneath their basket. Keeps it around to Desmond Love, back out top to Fletcher to reset the offense.
All right, Lafayette needs a quick early stop here before this quarter's over with.
We need to have a whistle on the foul on the shot by Fred Rich. Trayvon Barnes picks up his first foul. Fred Rich goes to the line to shoot a couple. First shot rolls around and in.
Yeah, and I guess if Tanner keeps this lead, you know, coach can afford to keep the big guy over there on the bench and rest him up with 3 fouls.
Misses the second. Cleared out by Barnes. Lead is 8. Landers drives to the basket. Misses. Cleared out by Justin Smith.
Seemed like they tried to trap the ball screen there.
3-point jump shot. Justin Smith at the top of the key draws the air. And Lafayette will inbound it.
All right, Tanner still in that full court pressure man-to-man defense. Seems like that 1-2-2 is working pretty good for him in the first half.
Post up by Boyd, turnaround shot up and in, and Boyd now has 15.
Yeah, he may want to go back to something different because you don't want to let Mr. Boyd get going now. He's the type of ball player that can put up a lot of points.
Down to a 6-point game now. The Bulldogs continue to chip away slowly. Fletcher drives to the basket. We'll have a charge underneath, it looks like on Fletcher.
That's a good play there. He slid over there pretty quick and took that one for his team. You know, that's a momentum swing right there.
That's his first of the game, and Chris Witt says, I need a timeout. And all the momentum, offensive end, defensive end, in the corner of the Bulldogs right now.
You know, the coach, you love those type of plays. You know, when those guys will slide over and help defense and help their teammates out and get that ball going the other way. As a coach, you just love that kind of kid that does that for you.
Fast outscored Tanner 13-7. Coming out of the locker room. And it all starts with defense. And on the missed shots by Tanner on the offensive end, the Bulldogs are limiting the second chance opportunities as well.
And one of the things Coach Witt did really well in that first half, you know, he kind of switched the defenses up and mixed them up pretty good. But I haven't seen the 1-2-2 half court yet. You know, we're almost through the third quarter, so, you know, he needs to kind of throw a couple different looks at them and kind of keep them off balance.
And at this point, the lead's only down to 6. How long do you keep the big guy on the bench with 3 fouls?
I don't know. I would try to roll the dice this last minute here and see if I can get him back in because you can tell he's an important factor to that team. You know, when he's out of the game, you know, you can almost tell that, you know, Lafayette is going inside the board. Well, it seems like he's made that adjustment, Chris. It seems like he's going to a 2-3 now. That may not be a bad move considering Mr. Boyd has hit the last few buckets.
Barnes with a 3-point shot misses it. Big guy. Shot and clear out, drive to the basket, layup missed by Desmond Love. Offensive rebound though. Now 3-point shot, left wing missed by Macklin, and another offensive rebound.
That's one of the things you have to do. You have to box out. When that shot goes up, you got to find somebody to put a body on.
So much for us just talking about how well Lafayette's done limiting second chance opportunities, and back-to-back shots result in back-to-back offensive rebounds for the Rattlers. Macklin controls the basketball up top. He drives to the basket, goes up, off the glass, up and in.
Good shot there.
That's huge for him. That gives him 5 points in the game, and just like that, he has a turnover. Lay in, up, miss, but a foul. Desmond Love's going to go to the line to shoot a couple.
Well, it kind of seems Lafayette's got off track here a little bit. Seems like they were on pace to kind of cut it a little closer.
Contavious Landers picks up his second foul. And sends Love to the free throw line for 2. He converts the first. Second shot rolls around and out. As the horn sounds, 3 quarters in the books inside the BJCC. We start the 4th quarter of the 2A boys state title game. Chris Blackshear, Stephen Ward courtside. 9-point lead by Tanner. They had the ball in the green. Lafayette in the white uniforms.
Yeah, Lafayette has to make a run here to start the 4th quarter. See if they can get that momentum back. They lost it the last couple seconds there, the 3rd quarter.
And Hagermaker is back in the ball game. Makes his presence felt quickly with a put back in quickly.
Yeah, they are a completely different team when he's on the floor.
Basket rejected by Hagermaker. Going into this quarter, he has only played 9 minutes in the ball game. Boyd, 3-point shot from the corner. In. He now has 18, leads all scorers. He just looks so nonchalant shooting and goes in.
That's really good form for a big guy.
Looks like they're going to call Boyd a foul.
Is that number 4 on him?
That's his 4th.
Wow, now that's going to hurt. Now let's see what coaching move he's going to make here. Is he going to leave him in or?
Yeah, you got to take him out, I would think, at this point.
7 minutes ago, that's a long time. And now that hurts them offensively there because he's really the only one that has the hot hand.
18 points. Goes to the bench with 4 fouls. Now Coach Threadgill has the decision he has to make now. How long do you leave them over there? Hagermaker underneath, drives to the basket, shot up and in.
Yeah, I think Coach Williams is going to attack the inside now with Boyd out of the game. So Coach Threadgill over there, the Fed's going to have to make a huge adjustment.
Lead back to 10. Tyreek Davis kicks it over to Griner. Back out top to Bledsoe.
Now Tanner's come out of that zone defense. They went back to a man-to-man with Boyd out of the game.
16-foot jump shot up for the end for Damian Page. Gives him 4 for the game. Tanner running. Shot up, foul. Fred Richards shoot a couple for the Rattlers.
I tell you, in a fast-paced game like this, transition defense is really, really important. You got to make sure you get back, cut those lanes off, and rotate.
Contavious Landers picks up his 3rd foul, and we're seeing how long that's going to last. Mr. Boyd goes to the bench for about 32 seconds. He'll be right back in after this free throw, which is made by Fred Rich. Second shot up and good.
It's going to be important for Tanner. You got to make sure you keep making those free throws.
They're 9 of 15 for the game. 3-point shot, left wing, rims out for Griner. Griner gets his own rebound, misses. Lafayette gets another offensive rebound. Boyd underneath, shot up and in. Take that back, that's Whitlow with the basket.
Yeah, it seemed like Tanner went back to that 1-2-2 trap on that last possession there. You know, one of the things it does is forces the offense to play a little faster. It kind of forces them to make quick decisions. So, you know, they may want to stick with that last 5 minutes of the ball game.
Lafayette gets a quick timeout here, leaves them with 2 for the ball game. Tanner has 4 remaining. Leads at 8. Here's another look.
Yeah, you can see there, that's a good shot by number 5 on the inside. But one of the biggest things is, you know, Tanner has to keep mixing it up. You know, whenever they mix it up, it seems like they keep Lafayette off balance. You know, when they stay in that man-to-man, Lafayette seems like they get in the groove. But the biggest thing is you got to keep them off balance the last 5 minutes of this game.
You got your leading scorer, 4 fouls. Your big guy on the other side for Tanner, he has 3 fouls.
And I guess how long is Coach Thread going to leave him over there, you know? In a big game like this, last game of the season, championship game, I don't know. You may have to get him off and just, you know, tell him don't touch anybody.
When I said earlier he was coming back in the game, that was actually Whitlow checking in. They both kind of had the same hairdo. They've got a blonde bleach streak down to both sides, so they look identical when you put them side by side.
You're exactly right.
So Quad Boyd stays on the bench for the Bulldogs. Tanner controlling the basketball, good pressure from the Bulldogs.
All right, looking going back to the big guy.
Drives to the basket. He's got some soft hands and soft shot for a big guy.
Oh no, that's his 4th foul.
But that's just not a smart foul by him there in the backcourt.
Not at all. Not at all. You know, if you miss a shot, you know, you're up what? You're up 10, 11 points. Just let it go.
Now, this is smart here now. You got the big guy going to the bench with 4 fouls. You bring your guy back in trying to take advantage of the scoring opportunities for the Bulldogs.
All right, so I guess offensively, now, let's see if Tanner and Lafayette's going to change their scheme of game. Their scheme of things since both of the big guys are off the floor.
8-point lead. Turnover by the Bulldogs.
Oh, actually, Boyd checked back in, I guess.
He did. He just swapped back in for Whitlow on that 4th foul.
All right, defensively, Lafayette has to make sure they get a stop right here. The time is running out.
Tanner has led throughout this ball game. Shot in the lane. Put up and in by Fred Rich. Nice shot. Turnaround. Lead back to 10, down to just 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. 3-point shot. Right wing missed by Tyreek Davis. Another rebound by Griner. Kicks it out. Boyd, right wing, shot up, and they're calling for walking.
That's a tough call there. Good job, though. Let's see if Lafayette is going to pick up full court here to try to pressure those guys and making tough decisions.
Now Whitlow comes back in the game. Boyd goes back to the bench. Back-to-back turnovers on the offensive end for the Bulldogs. Leads to Tanner with a 10-point lead in the ball. Fletcher dumps inside to Rich. Goes up. Misses. Gets the rebound. Goes up. And he's fouled. 6'3" senior. Shoot a couple.
Well, I guess you got to look at it. It's a good thing that Tanner's going to the foul line as much. But I guess it's bad if they're missing, so they got to make sure they make it.
Whitlow with his first foul of the game. 10 of 16 is Tanner from the line. That's 62%. Shot up and in.
It seemed like Coach Threadgill from Lafayette is going to go offense defense with Boyd.
Shot up and in.
Boyd, that's a really smart coaching move there. You know, if the kid has 4 fouls, you try to get him off the floor if they're playing defense and get him back on when they're playing offense.
Lead is now 12. Bulldogs have to convert and convert fast. It's not going to happen that way. Drive to the basket. Justin Smith is fouled. He'll shoot a couple.
And that's exactly what I was talking about on defense for Tanner. You know, they have to keep mixing it up. That time they ran a light run and jump, wait till the guy crossed half court, and they went to trap. Kind of caught Lafayette off guard.
Lafayette foul number 15 for Desmond Floyd. That's his second, team foul number 8.
Justin Smith goes to the line for the couple, converts the first one, and when he's made free throws, the lead is just getting larger for Coach Witt and his Tanner Rattlers. and in.
It's important here that Lafayette has to get a quick score.
And then they got to find some way to generate some stops on the defensive end.
I agree.
Boyd posting up underneath. He has the basketball. Has to kick it back out. Great double team on him and out on the block.
Right.
Boyd has it again. Goes to the basket. Puts it up and in.
It's a great move.
He now has 20.
You know, at this point, you probably just need to leave him on the floor and hopefully he won't pick up that fifth foul because offensively he's the only one that's really putting up any points.
Layup missed by Desmond Love. Needs to be called for the foul. It'll only be the 5th Tanner foul.
Let's see what Tanner throws at him defensively. They're in the matchup zone here. Press. All right, now they're cleaning it out. Looks like they're in man. Let's see if they run and jump. Look like they're bringing the double team from the top.
Boyd misses an 8-foot jump shot. Fast break. Had him open, just underthrew him, and that was Fletcher they were looking for. The Bulldogs have it right back again underneath to Boyd. He has it batted away underneath Fletcher. Fast break, goes up for the lay-in, and puts it in. He now has 10. That was his first bucket of the second half, and the lead is 14. Boyd, three-point shot, misses, gets his own rebound. Goes back up, lays it in, it's good. A quick timeout by the Bulldogs.
And that can't happen. If the shot is coming from the three-point, especially from the wing, you got to box that guy out. You can't let him follow the shot and get his own rebound. You got to keep him off the glass.
Here's another look at that fast break lay-in by Jonathan Fletcher. And they've had that a couple other times today, Steve, and they were just unable to get the pass out deep enough. Just the play right before that resulted in a turnover. It worked again, so somebody on Lafayette's defensive end's got to realize they got to get back. They're sending somebody on a shot.
Right, exactly. Just like we've been talking about the whole game, transition defense is really important in a fast-paced game. Tanner's got a couple run-outs this ball game. And, as a defensive unit, you got to make sure that doesn't happen. If 3 guys crash, you got to have at least 2 or 1 that's going to get back on defense.
3 minutes and 16 seconds away from crowning our second of 6 state champions here today from the BJCC. An earlier action today. In the girls' action, Woodland 34-2 won their first ever state title in school history by knocking off previously undefeated in number 1 Prattville Christian 64-53 here. Tough way to lose your only game of the season, 34-0, and you lose in the state title game.
Yeah, that has to hurt. One thing for Lafayette here, they got to do something defensively to cause Tanner to have some turnovers, but they haven't seemed to do that all evening, so hopefully he's figured something out over there to put a little pressure on him. And I see Boyd down there on the ball. I hope he doesn't pick up that 5th foul.
Full court pressure from the Bulldogs.
Looks like they're going to run and jump at him. It's a good pass there.
Underneath and in. Fred Rich, he now has 12. He's had a strong 4th quarter. The lead back to 14, and there's a turnover by the Rattlers. And we swap it right back to the Bulldogs. It turns into an underneath scoop miss by the Rattlers.
Well, it's really difficult to get back in the ball game, if you turn the ball over like that.
Tanner's just sending everybody now on the end. We have an injured player underneath. He's up now. Tedeschi Floyd a little slow to get back into action. Boy, very close to getting his 5th.
He has to be careful.
Fletcher, 18-foot jump shot, misses, and Rich gets the rebound. Rich up and in.
It seems like Lafayette's losing focus here. The ball game's not over. You still got a couple minutes to go. You still got to stick to the game plan.
3-point shot up and in. Miskey, Bledsoe with a shot. His second 3 of the game. More importantly, you got to have some stops here defensively. Tanner's just going to be methodical.
Yeah, I think if they stay in man-to-man, they're going to run that clock on down. So he's going to have to send a trap at him or send a run and jump or, put a little pressure on him in those corners to try to force a turnover or get a 5-second count.
And Lafayette's going to go ahead and foul now.
All right, try to get him close to a 1-and-1. Well, actually, we are in the 1-and-1, so.
Hagermaker's going to come back in the ball game now. So Jonathan Fletcher goes back to the free throw line to shoot 1 and 1.
You know, if Tanner can make these free throws, they can pretty much put the game out of reach.
Fred Rich goes to the bench with 14 points for the Rattlers in a huge fourth quarter. First shot up and in. .144 away from a state title for the Rattlers. Second shot up, rolls around and misses. Boyd clears the rebound. Three-pointer from the top of the key, misses everything. Rebounded underneath by Greg Macklin.
Yeah, in a situation like that, you know, you want to get some quick buckets, score some quick points, but you got to take good shots.
Foul was on Bledsoe. That's his first, but now we're in the double bonus.
Yeah, and it's really, a minute 29 is a lot of time. You know, to start fouling this early is really not good, and it's Tanner making these free throws just going to expand the lead.
Justin Smith goes to the line to shoot a couple. Makes the first one. The most impressive thing about the Rattlers today, Greg Macklin, we talked about him at the top of the broadcast, averaging 13 a game. He's already signed to play football with UAB. Only 5 points today, but his teammates have definitely picked him up.
Yeah, he's just a pure athlete. You know, he runs the floor well and rebounds really good.
Three-point shot by the Bulldogs. It's a quick shot again. Boyd gets the offensive rebound, however.
That's the trap zone. You don't want to be down there.
And it results in another turnover.
Yeah.
13 turnovers now by the Bulldogs. Fletcher with the basketball, kicks it back around to Macklin, and now it's just a game of keep away as we're down under a minute remaining for Tanner.
And Tanner played an excellent ball game.
And the Bulldogs know at this point no need to foul. They back off, and Tanner's just going to hold the basketball for the final 40 seconds. They're going to win the 2A boys title.
I tell you, these kids had a long season. For it to end like this, you know, Tanner did a great job.
The third in school history. The first since 2011, and Coach Witt will pick up win 447.
Wow, that's amazing.
A lot of wins, a lot of games.
Hey, he has a lot more to go as well.
And only 132 defeats.
Wow, that's impressive.
You can see already celebrating here as the final 10 seconds run off the clock. 61-45, the Rattlers of Tanna, 2A boys state champions. Final score from inside the BJCC, the Rattlers of Tanner 61, the Bulldogs of Lafayette 45. Stephen, it's been a lot of fun. Stick around. When we come back, Patrick Claiborne will pick back up the coverage. We'll have the presentation of the state championship trophy, the announcement of the all-tournament team, all of that and much, much more as championship weekend rolls along from inside the BJCC. Once again, your final score, Tanner 61, Lafayette 45 in the 2A boys state championship.
They love their Rattlers, yes they do. The Tanner Rattlers have won their third 2A state championship. Let's get you to the court as Tanner and Lafayette gets their runner-up trophy, and the Tanner Rattlers will get their 2A boys state championship trophy.
Tip-off club, Gil Berman. Mr. Alvin Briggs, Director of the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association, will present official Wilson Championship basketballs to both head coaches. First, Obadiah Fred Gill IV of Lafayette High School. And Chris Witt of Tanner High School. Now David Goodwin, representing Coca-Cola, and Danny Moore from Russell Athletic will introduce the Coca-Cola All-Tournament team. Players, as your name is called, please come to center court. From Luverne, DeAnthony Rutledge. From Lafayette, Quay Boyd. From Tanner, Fred Rich. From Lafayette, Tyreek Davis. From Tanner, Greg Macklin. And the most valuable player for the boys 2A championship tournament, from Tanner, Justin Smith. Please give them all a big round of applause. And now the presentation of the championship trophies. The state runner-up for Class 2A, the Lafayette Bulldogs, coached by Obadiah Fred Gildecourt. And the 2013 state champion for Class 2A, the Tanner Rattlers, coached by Chris Witt.
And there it is, folks. The Tanner Rattlers are your 2A boys state champions. The familiar refrain of "We are the champions" you'll hear it a few more times. And over the course of this weekend, as we get ready for more championship basketball, we'll hear from Coach Chris Witt, the championship coach, after his Rattlers win the title. In a few minutes, you're watching the Final 48 presented by Jax. And welcome back to the Final 48 presented by Jax. Tanner with the big 61-45 win over Lafayette. It was a second half to remember for the Rattlers. They pour in more of those three-pointers and excel in transition. The team and their head coach, Chris Witt, are taking their championship photos right now. We're awaiting Coach's arrival onto the set as his Rattlers have just won the 2A Boys State Championship. And fresh after picture time, here is Coach Witt. Coach?
Oh, man.
It's got to be a whirlwind, but it feels good to get that championship win, right?
Oh, it's awesome. We missed out last year. The regionals got beat, and we felt like we should have been here last year, and a lot of the same guys were back, and they were just really determined this year not to let that happen again.
And how vital was that, honestly, the way that this team worked through training through the rest of the season, because this was the goal the whole time, right? It was this or bust.
It was, and we was off to a slow start because 10 out of these 12 guys played on the football state championship team just in December. So we got no practice time before our first game. We had one practice, and we were just kind of going nonstop until right now. And it's really paid off with all the work they put in, because I ask a lot of these guys coming straight out of football, and it's just awesome for them to get this reward.
So was there ever a question question if you were going to be able to play in that first game, to be honest.
Yeah, we tried to move that first. It was an area game, too. And we tried to move it. We couldn't find any date because we had to move so many other ones. So we just said, let's just go and play it. We practiced one day, got on the floor, and played the area game the next day.
Well, obviously, a team full of champions. They won football state championship. They won a basketball state
They won a
championship.
track last year also.
These guys do nothing but win. Looking down the books, the even distribution of the points, 7, 14, 5, 8, 14, 11. Your guys share the ball as well as any team.
Oh, yeah, they are, there's no selfish players on this team at all. I mean, and Justin Smith stepped up tonight. I've been waiting on him to have a good game that he's capable of, and he saved the best for last. He was the MVP tonight, and he definitely deserved it.
Yeah, the MVP of the whole tournament. What was it like for all of these guys to sit there and share this championship, especially at the end of an already good year? This has to tap off a great year for Tanner Athletics.
It wasn't going to be a good year if we went on with a loss. We've experienced this before, coming down here and losing, and it's just a big letdown. The Tanner community expects nothing but a win. And so I'm just glad we were able to get to them.
Well, here's a message to the Tanner community. You can ease up on these guys a little bit. The 2A boys and basketball champions. When we come back, we'll get you ready for more high school basketball, more championship high school basketball. But for now, congratulations to the Tanner Rattlers, your 2A boys state championship. It's the Final 48 presented by Jax.